Ready to add some power to your guitar playing? Learn about power chords with me today. Today's beginner guitar lesson is pretty simple but very vital to a lot of genres that use the guitar as a main instrument in them. Let's get into what power chords are. First of all, it's not a traditional chord like we've been learning our G, C, D, E minor so far, where there's a lot of notes that are filling out this lush sound. A power chord is essentially just using two notes. The power part of the name partially comes from the fact that it sounds so powerful when you put some distortion on it, as I used in the beginning of the video. Essentially because you're simplifying the notes that are getting used to get distorted, which adds all these other frequencies and chances to sound muddy, and you're just really boiling it down into what is going to hit with the most power, and oftentimes it's these two notes. The power is also partially from the fact that the power chord can be used over major or minor chords. It gets into some deeper theory into why that is. We're not going to get too much into that, but we have just enough theory from a previous beginner guitar lesson that will get us enough to build this chord and maybe explain it a little bit more. So we're going to start with the G major scale. That's the video I was referring to. And in that, at the end of the video, I said that it would be a good idea to count the notes as you go up the scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 8, 1. Essentially the same note an octave up. And so in this case, you're going to be counting to your 1 and your 5. That's how you build your power chord. So in the case of G, start on your very first note of your scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then play those together. I often do that with my pointer finger on the low note and my ring finger on the higher note. We'll cover power chords more in other videos, but for now, just so you can start playing around with them, just know that you can build those off of the lowest notes, that same shape, off of the lowest notes of all the chords you know so far. In this case, I'm talking about the lowest note for D being the alternative chord that we learned. So you have power chord on G, C, D, and on your E minor. Again, same shape for major or minor, so it works on all of them. More to come on power chords, but that should be enough to get you started. So with that, practice it on your own. Get those power chords going.